Okay, let's continue with their major events. I thought these were important to illustrate my point. And so let's dive right in. On July 24th, 2003, the debut album Beautiful Energy was released in Japan. On the first day, more than 10,000 copies were sold, and over 1 million were sold in 2 months. Then, in March 3rd, 2004, the second album, Shining Energy, was issued in Japan, and it was a bestseller in the first day. So this illustrates how in a very short time they just became very popular and well known even outside of China. Then in August 11th through September 4th or 8th in 2004, the first tour in the US, they performed at Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco, Minneapolis, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, and Hawaii. So it's really big how within just a few years they were already on the other side of the world. Then in March 4th through April 9th, 2005, they toured in Japan and performed in 10 cities. Then in July 2005, they toured in Southeast Asia, performing in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, and some other places. So they were spreading throughout all of Asia, not just in China and Japan. Then in October 2nd through November 6th, 2005, they did their second tour in the US in Toronto, Montreal, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Los Angeles. And they even played, I think it was in North Carolina, that had just been hit by the hurricane. So they were doing some charity stuff there. So that was really cool. And then in November 2005, they released the 12 Girls Band Christmas album. And this was the first time Christmas music was performed by Chinese folk instruments. And so they have played a huge role in pioneering using blending folk Chinese traditions with Western pop. And then in October 2009, they toured in South Korea. And as I was looking for some sample music of their performances, they all are very beautiful, and I encourage people to go look at them on YouTube because they're really cool. And most of them, they're blending either folk songs or classical and modern pop. And for this one, it's a new classicism medley, and it's blending Symphony Number 40 by Mozart, Symphony Number 5 by Beethoven, and The Barber of Seville by Rossini. And they're still playing their traditional instruments, so it produces an interesting blend. So let's take a look. Okay, so we can see through this clip how beautifully and wonderfully they perform, and they're very entertaining. And it's really interesting to see how they use their traditional instruments to create very Western music, and so it's really cool. They have been very, very, very successful. They are very popular in Asia, especially in Japan. In Japan, they're holding the highest sales numbers of any Chinese musical artist ever. And in Japan, their debut album topped the charts for 30 weeks. And the 12 Girls Band has played 2 tours in the United States, so they've even penetrated the Western world as well. And their traditional instruments used to play pop music is a wonderful example of how Brother K called China how China has a counterpoint in music, how they are kind of constantly trying to blend tradition with embracing the future and pop music. To summarize, the 12 Girls Band is a Chinese ensemble with 13 female members that plays traditional Chinese instruments in a more modern Western way. And so this makes it a strong example of the counterpoint in music. Thanks for watching.